Welcome to another episode of What Does the Law Say with Irene Care. Before we move on, please like, share, subscribe, drop your comments and your questions in the comment section below. This show is proudly produced, edited, sponsored by Tech Hub Media. On today's episode, we would be discussing about the new Police Act. So if you're very conversant with news and things going on in Nigeria, there is a new Police Act that was passed into law sometime in September of this year. And there are some new developments in the act, some improvements, new things that should make us happy somehow that yes, our police force is trying to give a good impression and then make things work. So on this episode, I'm going to list out 10 things that you need to know that are in this act. 10 important things that you need to know. So let's go right into it. So firstly, we're going to list out the objectives, the general objectives of this act and the specific objectives of this act. Because a lot of things have changed from the old Police Act of 2004 to the new Police Act of 2020. What is the general objective of the act? So the general objective of the act is to provide for a more efficient and effective police service. That's good news, right? I think it's good news to know that our police force wants to now be efficient and they want to be effective in the delivery of their service. So that's the general scope, the general objective of the act. And this objective is based on principles such as accountability and transparency. It's based on the protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms, and also based on the principle of partnership with other security agencies. Now, the specific objective of this act. The specific objective of the act is to provide for a force that is more responsive to the needs of the general public. Also, another objective is to reposition the police force to uphold and safeguard the fundamental rights of every person in Nigeria in line with the Constitution. Also, another specific objective is to empower the police force to effectively prevent crimes without threatening the liberty and privacy of persons in Nigeria. This is also very important and fundamental at this time. Lastly, also another objective is to develop professionalism in the police force by providing relevant training in all police formations in Nigeria for enhanced performance. If they really go by the objective, this specific objective of this act, it means that our police force will be more professional due to the training that they get. What are the 10 things to know about this new police act? Number one, the duties of the police force. There are some duties already listed in the Police Act of 2004, but there's some other things were added in this new one. So now the duties of the police, things that have been added in this one. Number one, you protect the rights and freedom of every person in Nigeria as provided for in the Constitution and in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. So in the duties mentioned before in the old act, there wasn't provided for. But now it is provided for that the police are meant to protect the rights and the freedom of every citizen, every person in Nigeria, in accordance to the Constitution and also the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. So your right matters, and the police has that right to protect your right now. Another duty that has been added in this new act is that the police force will collaborate with other agencies to take any necessary action and provide the required assistance to support persons in distress, whether road accidents, fire disasters, earthquakes, or flood. The police force now can collaborate with other agencies, other forces to take necessary steps. This wasn't mentioned for in the old act, so it's a good development for us. Another duty that was added in this new act is that the police force can vet and approve the registration of private detective schools and private investigative outfits. Number two, the fundamental rights in custody. Section 5 of the Police Act 2020 provides for fundamental rights in custody. So if a person has been arrested, the police force is responsible for promoting and protecting the fundamental rights of any person that is in their custody. Whatever fundamental right that has been guaranteed by the Constitution, it is the duty, the responsibility of the police or of the police force to protect and to promote the fundamental rights of any person in their custody. Number 3, arrest on civil wrong. Section 32 sub 2 of the Police Act 2020 provides for arrest on civil wrong, and the section says that a person shall not be arrested merely on a civil wrong or breach of contract. This has always been something that people have done over the years, where there's a civil wrong or a civil problem between two parties and they involve the police, and then the police somehow gets involved, arrests one person, threatens the person, locks the person up before that wrong is settled. Now, this Police Act has made provision for this, that a person shall not be arrested merely on a civil wrong. If you have any civil dispute with any person, you have any civil dispute with any party, seek for redress in the courts. Bring an action against that person in court, not by telling the police officer to arrest. So all that one that people will say, they are owing me money, I will use police to come and arrest you, to come and harass you. It is wrong. It is not meant to be done. The Act already says that a person shall not be arrested merely on a civil wrong or breach of contract. So if it's a contract, both of us agree to buy land, or both of us agree to sell a car, or whatever it is, as long as it's not something criminal. If it's criminal, the police can be involved. But if it's a civil wrong or a breach of contract, then you do not have to involve, or you are not meant to involve the police force. So number 4, the reason for arrest. So some of these provisions that have been improved upon and established in this Police Act are also provisions that are already stipulated in other laws, such as maybe the ACJ, the ACJL, criminal justice laws and acts of the states and federation, and also in the Constitution. So Section 35 says that you must inform the suspect of the reason for arrest. So in the event that a policeman wants to arrest the person, you must inform that person that this is the reason why you are being arrested. The only instance when you will inform the person is if you caught the person in the commission of that arrest. Maybe the person was just committing the offense, and so you have to arrest the person immediately. Or after the person had committed it, you were pursuing the person or running after the person, then you might not need to inform the person of the reason for arrest. But aside that, if you're going to arrest any person, the person must be informed of the reason for arrest. Number 5, information about rights when making an arrest. So this is still under Section 35, but under subsection 2, which provides that the police officer that is making that arrest, or the officer in charge of a police station, shall inform that suspect of his rights. So even if a person is arrested or a person is a suspect, it doesn't mean his rights are denied or his rights no longer exist. He still has rights. One of the rights which the police force must, inform that suspect is that he must tell that suspect that he has a right to remain silent or avoid answering any question until after consultation with a legal practitioner or any other person of his choice. This particular provision is in the Constitution. So if a policeman should arrest any person, arrest the suspect, whenever he makes that arrest, or whoever the police officer is in charge of the station, you must inform that person that you have a right to remain silent. That means you don't have to talk, you don't have to say anything. You have a right to avoid answering any questions until you've consulted with your lawyer or with any person of your choice. Also, you must inform that person that he has a right to consult with a legal practitioner of his choice before making, endorsing, or writing any statement or answering any question put to him after arrest. So in the event that a person is arrested and then he gets to the police station and they are asking questions, they are telling him to make a statement, sign this statement, do anything, that person has that right not to endorse, not to write, not to make any statement until he has consulted with his lawyer. And it is also the duty of the police officer to inform that person that, hey, you have this right. You do not have to answer any of our questions. You do not have to make any statement. You do not have to answer any question. You do not have to endorse or write anything. You can wait to consult with your lawyer before doing so, which is also a very good development for the Police Act. Knowing that there have been instances where people have said I was coerced into writing a statement. But imagine if you have a police force where they always state it to you that you do not have to write anything. You don't have to make any statement until you consulted with your legal practitioner. also that our person is entitled to free legal consultation by the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria or other organizations where applicable. So it is not the duty of the police to be saying that your own don't finish for here. No, that's not the work they sent you as a police officer. You're supposed to make that citizen know or that person know that, hey, you have a right. Number 6, arrest in lieu. Section 36 of the Police Act provides that a person shall not be arrested in place of another suspect. So for instance, if they want to arrest Mr. Jelosini, and upon getting to Mr. Jelosini's house, they do not meet him at home, but they meet Mrs. Jelosini and Uncle Jelosini, that's baby Jelosini. They can't say that because we did not see Mr. Jelosini, we will now arrest Mrs. Jelosini. No. The Police Act already provides that a person cannot be arrested in place of another suspect or in place of a suspect. If you are not the suspect, they shouldn't arrest you. They should arrest whoever is the suspect. So you cannot substitute, even if the person is a family member. You can't use the tactic of, if we arrest the wife, the husband will come and we'll be able to arrest the husband. No. The section already provides for that if you are to make an arrest of a suspect, that is the person you should arrest. You should not arrest another person in place of that person or as a substitute to that person. Number 7, the treatment of a suspect. So Section 37 of the Police Act 2020 provides that a suspect shall be accorded humane treatment, having regard to his right, to the dignity of his person, and not be subjected to any form of torture, cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment. So this new Police Act already provides that a suspect shall not be treated in an inhumane or degrading manner or in a cruel manner, but he must be accorded humane treatment, having regard to his right, to the dignity of his person. So because the person is a suspect doesn't mean that they should be treated in an undignified manner. You must have regard to his right, to the dignity of his person. So that's also a new provision in the Police Act. Meanwhile, it was already provided for in the Constitution, but now it has been stated here that a suspect shall be accorded humane treatment. Number 8, a police officer who is a legal practitioner can prosecute a suspect or any person that has been arrested. So Section 66 of the Police Act, the new Police Act, provides that a police officer who is a legal practitioner may prosecute in person before any court, whether or not the information or complaint is laid in his name. So now, it's a new development. We hope that lawyers would want to be a part of this and maybe join the force so that they could be legal practitioners that also prosecute suspects. So now it is now open that a police officer who is a legal practitioner can prosecute in person any suspect. Number 9, notification of the next of kin. So Section 35 sub 3 of the new Police Act 2020 provides that the authority having custody of the suspect shall notify the next of kin or relative of the suspect of the arrest at no cost of the suspect. So this means that if the police should arrest any suspect and that suspect is in their custody, it is their own responsibility as the police force to notify the next of kin or the relative of that suspect. And the suspect is not supposed to pay for it. It is at no cost of the suspect. So as the police force, it is their responsibility to notify any family member, any relative, any friend, any loved one of who is in their custody, and it will not be at the expense of the suspect. Number 10, the behavior of the police officer. Section 100 of the new Police Act 2020 provides that while on duty, a police officer shall not take any intoxicating liquor, psychotropic substances, or stimulants. Where he does, he shall be punished in accordance with the police disciplinary procedures. He shall be punished in accordance with the police disciplinary procedures. I think this is also a good development that is actually important because most times police officers that have behaved badly were under the influence of alcohol or the abuse of the substance. So at least if this provision is in place, it's to put them in check and ensure that while on duty, they do not behave badly and claim that they were under the influence and nothing can be done. So if any police officer is under the influence of alcohol or any substance or the abuse of it, he will be punished in accordance with the police disciplinary procedures. Subsection 2 of this section 100 also says that a person who knowingly harbors or you give or you You are the one that is providing the liquor for the police officer, or you're the one providing the stimulant or the substance during his duty or when he is on duty, whether directly or indirectly, whether you're offering him money, gifts, spirits, liquor, whatever you're giving to him, and the stimulant will induce or attempt to induce the police officer, that person has committed an offense and will be liable on conviction to a fine of 50,000 naira. Don't be used by the devil. You might not be the police officer that is taking all those substances on duty, but if you as the person, helps him, you support, you aid him, you're the one that gives him the liquor or gives him the substance, or you engage in it together with him, you'll be liable on conviction. If found guilty, you'll be liable on conviction to a fine of 50,000 naira. Due to this new development in this police act, we hope for a better Nigeria. We hope for the police force to be informed through and through. We hope that the content of this act will be carried out effectively and efficiently to ensure that we have the best police force in the world. Thank you very much for watching today's episode of What Does the Law Say? Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments and your questions in the comment section. What does the law say? I'll tell you next Thursday. Moving on. I miss baby jealousy me. I'll see you next Thursday. No. Bye. Okay, yeah.